What's up, guys? So I was reading this book today, Thick Face, Black Heart. I hope I got that correct. And basically, it was talking about dispassion. You know, kind of along the lines of stoicism. And in fact, I didn't even make the connection until like on the spot. But just kind of not letting the emotions dictate. No war cries when you go to war, but still fighting as fiercely. Fighting is fierce, and it obviously works in other aspects. Uh, I don't know, the way you handle your relationships, the way you go about pretty much anything where I guess emotion could be used as a type of boost, but it will burn you on the back end, and maybe it takes away some of the clarity because you're going off of uh, less logic and more, how you feel, which isn't necessarily an issue, but I wanted to bring this up for a reason because uh, the caption, I'm sure the caption is going to be something that has something to do with staying grounded. And to stay ground, in order to stay grounded, you have to keep your emotions in check. And that's when things are going bad, and when things are going good as well. So it keeps a nice little even playing field. And so you would wonder like why I would say such a thing, like when things are going great, wouldn't you want to celebrate it? Wouldn't you want to get high and things like that? In a sense, yes. And besides the fact that it can be quite a great fall, when you as you get high in emotion, it's just, how do I say this? The emotion of it all allows you, or kind of enables you to stop thinking logically. So you always want to kind of reel things back in. Now feel good about things as they happen, but you got to reel it back in because the bad times will come also. And you don't want to be crushed by that. You know what I'm saying? When you leave yourself open to things like that, it then you feel the blowback of the negative things just as fiercely. At least that's how I see it. So when I talk about staying grounded or having this sense of dispassion, you acknowledge everything as is, and also you won't be so quick, and you won't be so quick to kind of label such a thing like an occurrence. So like for example, if I get into a car accident, hopefully it doesn't happen, but if I were to get into a car accident, some people would be like, "Oh, that's awful. That's awful." Yeah, it could be. If I said it was awful, then it's awful. But very easily could I see it as a good thing. I could choose to see it as a good thing. Why? Oh, time to get a new car, or uh, I have an experience with, I had a life or death experience, which will change me forever. Maybe I become more grateful and things like that. So I'm not trying to be morbid here, but I'm just trying to say that, the labels that we put on things, it isn't set in stone. It does not have to be that way. All right. Like if you have problems in the dating field, for example, or I mean, well, see, look, I just addressed it as a problem, but you don't have to see it as a problem if you aren't really dating or you can't seem to find anyone or whatever, because there's even some good in that. Trust me, trust me. And so, a big thing about me is always putting things into perspective. Is always a matter of perspective by way of trying to read the situation. Now, everything can't be read, just like everything can't be controlled, and that's where acceptance comes into play. But I want to also speak more so on the getting too high because I've experienced a great deal of low moments, and I've beat myself up about it many times. And obviously, having perspective brought me back to a kind of even playing field where I am more grateful. I am more humble, and I don't flinch as much when quote unquote bad things happen to me. It's because bad things have happened plenty times. So many things I deem bad to be happening many times. So it's great to put that in perspective. But in comparison to these negative things, the wins haven't been as frequent. So when I get those big wins, or like I've gotten, big wins in the past, I've gotten too comfortable. Don't know what to do something like that because it almost seems like it's the promised land when something goes good for you. Then you start coasting. But when things go good for you, you got to understand that there is a shelf life. Now, who knows? Maybe it'll last until you die. It could last a month, a year, whatever it is. But you always have to keep that in perspective. And that's why when you see a lot of people in like professional sports, when they win a championship, a lot of the greats, they just focused on the next one because that's their job. All right. So when you find a victory of sorts, never forget what helped you get to that victory. All right. The victory isn't a reason to stop trying. All right. When you finally get that woman that you wanted, there's not a reason to stop trying. When you finally get that job you wanted, don't stop trying. You know what I'm saying? You have to keep doing these things. And so, although I believe in the celebratory phase of life, don't want to stay there, because life is always going to present you with something that isn't worth celebrating. So, life isn't inherently a party. You could party through life, but life isn't a party. And so, with that being said, to wrap this up, just want to say, first of all, best wishes. I haven't put out a video in like 5 days or so, 6, whatever. So best wishes, and always keep yourself in kind of a humble state. Not too humble to it, where you can't acknowledge the great that is going on in your life, where you can't acknowledge the amount of work you put in, but this type of humility that will keep you in the mindset that you had when you were pursuing these greater uh, purposes in life, when you were pursuing something greater than uh, the current circumstances of yesteryear. All right, guys, take care.